Dặn nữa nha.
Chị nghĩ thế nào về việc đưa anh ấy đến bệnh viện để điều trị chứng mất trí nhớ? Em thấy tình hình ngày càng tệ hơn rồi.
Em cũng thấy vậy.
It's getting worse. You have to see a doctor at the hospital.
All right, I understand. I'll go tomorrow.
It's okay, we are here now. We need help and he doesn't know who he is. Okay, fill out these forms and take him to room 3 down the hall.
I'm going to use this otoscope to check your ears. Just hold still for me. Everything looks perfectly clear.
What if the person you love looks at you like a stranger while silent pain slowly threatens their life? Diem fights desperately to awaken Toan's lost memories, only to face a cruel truth. Love cannot stop his sudden, terrifying headaches. As fear grows, an old woman who once saved Toan's life returns with a warning that changes everything, forcing a decision that could save him or reveal a devastating truth. This is a story of love, memory, and a fragile hope standing on the edge of loss. Stay with us until the end, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more emotional, unforgettable stories like this one. Diem tried everything she could to awaken the memories that once bound her and Toan together, as if love itself might find a hidden path back into his heart. She took him to the old house where they had once lived, a quiet place filled with dust and fading sunlight, hoping the walls might whisper their shared past. She played the songs they used to listen to on long evenings, melodies that once made him smile without thinking, and watched his face closely for even the smallest change. Diem spoke softly, telling him about the days they had laughed until nightfall, about the promises he had made, about the way he used to look at her as if she were his entire world. But Toan only listened in silence. His eyes were polite, distant, and painfully unfamiliar. He tried to concentrate, tried to force his mind to remember, yet every effort ended in confusion and frustration, like chasing a dream that vanished the moment he reached for it. Sometimes, a shadow of recognition flickered across his face, lasting only a heartbeat before disappearing again, leaving behind an emptiness that hurt Diem more than any rejection. As the days passed, Diem noticed something even more frightening than his lost memories. Toan began to suffer from sudden, violent headaches. They came without warning, while he was walking, while he was listening to her stories, even while he was simply staring into space. He would press his hands against his temples, his breathing turning shallow, his face pale as if all the strength had been drained from him. Diem's heart raced every time it happened. She feared that the accident which had stolen his memories had left behind a deeper, unseen wound, one that could threaten his life if ignored. Each headache felt like a cruel reminder that time was running out, that love alone might not be enough to save him. Standing by his side one night, watching him sleep restlessly, Diem finally accepted a painful truth. No matter how desperately she wanted his memories to return, she could not gamble with his health. She whispered to herself that the past could wait, but his life could not. The thought of taking Toan to the hospital began to take shape in her mind, growing heavier with every passing hour. If there was even a small chance that doctors could heal his pain, uncover the reason behind his memory loss, or prevent something far worse, she had to take it. For Diem, the journey to the hospital was no longer just about treatment. It was about hope, about fighting for Toan's future, even if that future no longer remembered her name. The decision to take Toan to the hospital did not bring Diem immediate relief. Instead, it opened the door to a deeper fear that clung to her with every passing moment. The headaches grew more frequent, striking Toan like invisible blows he could neither predict nor defend against. Sometimes they came in the early morning, tearing him from uneasy sleep, his body stiff with pain as if his mind were at war with itself. Other times, they appeared in the middle of an ordinary conversation, cutting his words short and leaving him gasping, his fingers digging into his scalp as though he could physically pull the pain away. Diem learned to recognize the signs, the tightening of his jaw, the distant look in his eyes just seconds before the pain overwhelmed him, and each time her heart sank a little more. After every attack, Toan was left drained and disoriented. He would sit quietly, staring at the floor, ashamed and confused by his own weakness. He apologized to Diem again and again, even though he could not remember what he was apologizing for, or why her presence beside him felt both comforting and unbearably heavy. There were moments when he asked her, in a voice filled with guilt, why she stayed when he could give her nothing in return. Diem never answered with words. She simply held his hand, afraid that if she spoke, her voice would betray the terror growing inside her. She knew that these headaches were not random, not harmless. They were signals, warnings that something deep within Toan's mind was breaking apart, piece by piece. The closer the day of the hospital visit came, the more Diem's thoughts spiraled between hope and dread. She imagined doctors discovering a clear cause, a treatable condition, and telling her that with time and care, Toan would recover, his memories, his laughter, his life. But she also feared the opposite, that the scans would reveal something irreversible, something that no amount of love could undo. Every smile she forced, every calm reassurance she offered Toan was built on fragile resolve. At night, when he finally fell asleep, she allowed herself to cry in silence, pressing her face into the pillow so he would not hear the sound of her breaking. Toan, too, sensed the growing tension, though he could not name its source. He felt like a stranger inside his own body, haunted by pain and fragments of emotions that did not belong to any memory he could recall. Somewhere deep within him, he understood that the hospital was not just a place of treatment, but a turning point. As Diem prepared to face it with him, both of them stood at the edge of an uncertain future, one where truth, pain, and hope would finally collide, and nothing would ever be the same again. When morning finally came, Diem knew she could no longer face what lay ahead alone. Before taking Toan to the hospital, she sought out the old woman, the quiet, weathered figure who had once pulled Toan back from the edge of death when everyone else had lost hope. In the small, dimly lit room where time seemed to move more slowly, Diem told her everything. She spoke of the memories that refused to return, of the sudden, merciless headaches, and of the fear that had been tightening around her heart since the night she realized love might not be enough to save him. Her voice trembled, but she did not hide the truth. Every word felt like a confession, a plea for guidance from the one person who had already witnessed Toan's fragile struggle between life and loss. The old woman listened without interrupting, her eyes deep and thoughtful, as if she were reading a story written not only in Diem's words, but in her pain. When Diem finally fell silent, the room filled with a heavy stillness. After a long moment, the woman spoke, her voice calm yet firm, carrying the weight of experience. She reminded Diem that surviving death often came with a price, and that the mind, like the body, could be wounded in ways that were not immediately visible. Memory loss, she said, was sometimes a shield, sometimes a warning. Ignoring it would only invite greater danger. Her words confirmed what Diem had feared all along, but hearing them spoken aloud made the situation undeniably real. Together, they agreed that Toan must be taken to the hospital without delay. The old woman insisted on going with them, believing that her presence might steady both Diem and Toan in the moments ahead. As they prepared to leave, Diem felt a strange mix of gratitude and dread. She was thankful that someone else now shared the burden of responsibility, yet terrified of what awaited them beyond the hospital doors. Still, for the first time in days, she felt less alone. There was comfort in knowing that this decision was no longer driven by fear alone, but by wisdom and necessity. When Diem returned to Toan, she told him gently about their plan. He listened quietly, his expression unreadable, but he did not resist. Perhaps, somewhere deep within him, he understood that this journey was unavoidable. As they stepped out together, the old woman walking beside them, the road ahead felt heavy with uncertainty. Yet within that uncertainty lived a fragile hope that answers would be found, that pain could be eased, and that even if the past remained lost, Toan's life could still be protected. For Diem, that hope was enough to keep moving forward, one step closer to the truth.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Lý Tu Diem Review. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Trong câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay thì tại lâu trại của cụ bà đã cứu mạng Toàn. Diễm đã dùng mọi cách để gợi lại ký ức về tình cảm của cô với Toàn nhưng đều không có tác dụng. Đối với Toàn bây giờ chỉ là một mảnh mờ ký ức và những cơn đau đầu dữ dội thường xuyên ập đến đối với anh. Chính vì điều đó Diễm đã quyết định sẽ bàn với cụ bà ân nhân của Toàn là sẽ đưa anh đến bệnh viện khám và điều trị cho anh. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn sẽ còn được kể ở câu chuyện tiếp theo. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút đăng ký kênh để nhận được thông báo mới nhất về câu chuyện sẽ được phát sóng vào ngày mai nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Thanks for watching. Bye bye and see you.